Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing, everybody? Welcome to new episode from Breakdown Series. And in today's episode, we will discuss the new updates from the new Lawyer of Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. Okay, so sorry about that inconvenience. The chat was open for everyone, but it's supposed to be for members. You're most welcome, guys. Ahmed, alaikum salam. Guys, comments in English on this episode, on this series. Coach, aside from Chris Brown and Mike Tyson, wasn't she same lawyer that defended Johnny Depp too? No, she's totally different one. Okay, so in the last 2 weeks, a new lawyer joined the legal team who's defending Andrew Tate, and I believe she's American, and she had multiple interviews on the social media and in the media. It's gonna be a great episode to talk about the last interview with Piers Morgan. So we got around 9 minutes interview with Piers Morgan, as you see here. And today we will listen to the latest update because, Andrew Tate have been held in the custody for 30 days and he asked for bail. It's refused. It remained for the next 30 days. So Andrew Tate is under custody for 60 days with no evidences. For 60 days with no real charges. So let's check. let's check the interview, and we will see how it goes and get the latest updates. Okay, let's jump into it.
Well, next, Andrew Tate will spend the next month behind bars in Romania after losing the latest appeal against his detention. Tate and his brother Tristan are being held as part of an investigation into rape and human trafficking. Speaking outside court, Andrew Tate said he's done nothing wrong.
You know I'm innocent. There's not much justice in Romania.
Well, the pack is still with me. Plus, joining me now is the lawyer for the Tate brothers, Tina Glandin, who is in Romania. Well, welcome to you, Ms. Glandin. I really appreciate you joining me. Where are we with this case? It seems that every now and again this pops up back on television with them being remanded for further time. How long can that process continue before a charging decision is made?
Okay, guys, that was like mind-blowing for me. That the Romanian authority can hold anyone under investigation for 180 days. That's 6 months of the human life with no charges, with absolutely zero evidences. That was mind-blowing. Listen.
Under Romanian law, they have up to 180 days, which is in 30-day increments. So every time there's a 30-day detention order, they're allowed to renew their request and have it extended for an additional 30 days, but not to exceed 180 days.
Okay. You've taken on this case. Andrew Tate has been repeatedly bellowing his innocence as he's been led in and out of these court hearings and so on. Do you believe them? Do you believe that he and his brother are innocent?
At this point, Piers, they've had this investigation going since April. We're now February, and there are not even charges filed against them. So this is a huge injustice the way we see it. They should not be detained at this point. We think it's now crossed over to the point where it's violating international human rights law, because the deprivation of your liberty pre-trial is the most severe form of punishment a state can impose. And that's what they've done in this case. And they've had a very lengthy investigation with the government's resources. They've been analyzing and looking at all of their devices since April when they seized everything. And here we are, February, and charges aren't filed. So I think there's absolutely no evidence that's been presented. And that's our position.
what is, I mean, how are your clients?
Okay, let me get this right. So they gathered what they call it evidences. They seized a lot of things when they raided uh, the Tate's brothers' house since February, not February, since April 2022. That was the last year. So since 10 months, they gathered all tools that they need from their home, such as cameras, such as laptops, CCTVs, everything. And they are going in their investigation since 10 months. Do you think the Romanian authorities will have a concrete evidences, and they did not provide it until now, since 10 months? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because the prosecutor, that's how prosecutors work. If they have evidences, they will provide evidences to the court, and the court will put him in jail. Rather than that, nothing will be like, they have nothing concrete evidence as a concrete evidence against him. So I do not personally, I do not believe that they have evidences against him. This is a very serious allegation. They categorize women as victims of Tate brothers. All the victims go out and say, we are not victims. We never held against our will. We've never been forced to do things that we don't want to do. So all claims and everything that they assume that they have on their side is falling fucking apart. So they are holding the two brothers for 60 days with no evidences, and that's violate the international human rights, as he says. You can't put someone in jail for 60 days with nothing. You have to have a case, and in order for you to have a case, you have to have some concrete evidences. If you have evidences, why didn't you provide it for the court, for the judges? So you don't have one. Look, there is only two options. You have the case and the charges and the evidences, and the case is very strong. So you will forward it to the court for the judges to take decision, or you don't, and you keep renewing the 30 days under the 30 days custody for them, month after month after month, until when? This prosecutor, by my assumption, by my estimation, is liberal idiot, and he hate the Tate brother. They seize their cars. Can you imagine to seize cars for months? What are you gonna do with cars? Like, I can search a car in 10 minutes. I can take evidences and swabs for the labs, for the criminology, like labs, in like 20, 30 minutes. If you have CCTVs and recordings, you can finish that in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Team of 5 person will analyze that in 2 weeks. So you have all of that for 10 fucking months, and he didn't find any fucking thing. You have their phones, their laptops, you have their cameras, their PCs, everything, and you couldn't find one concrete evidence to provide to the court. Do you really think this is a legitimate case, or is it just like a massive pressure from other countries? Because Tate is annoying. She's from US, indeed, according to one of Tam Khan's tweet. Yeah. Her English is amazing, so I will assume she's from US. Until they broke this man down, because that's what they want. Yeah, but like, it is very difficult to broke someone to break someone who's like Tate. He's very resilient. We will get back. We will get into it. Listen.
At the moment, how is Andrew Tate dealing with incarceration? I mean, I interviewed him just before Christmas. We had a long, wide-ranging interview.
Yes.
And once again, I was struck by the phenomenal following that he has online, particularly with young men. You know, he has an enormous following there. You and I know this has been whipped up now by that community into a huge framing of a narrative that this is complete injustice. There are others who think this has been a long time coming, that he's a bad human being and that he's going to face very serious charges, and that will be the last we see of him. But how is he faring right now, given that at the moment he's in this limbo land of no charging but being held in incarceration?
The brothers are both very strong. They're resilient and they're holding up, but obviously the conditions are not good. They're in a Romanian jail cell and they've been detained for a very lengthy period at this point. They have limited access to their attorneys. It's not a good condition for them.
You've obviously represented a lot of people.
And as far as
sorry, please finish.
I was gonna say, to your second point, they're controversial public figures, but that's not a crime. And at this point, we have not been provided any proof that they've committed any crimes, nor have they even been charged. So I would ask that people presume them innocent as they are.
Do they feel that they are being tried in the court of public opinion?
I think the public is divided, as you know. I think they have a big following, but at the end of the day, yes, I think there is a lot of information in the public. I think there's a lot of false allegations in the public. I think some evidence has now been put forth. Again, I don't want to comment too much on the facts of the case since there is an ongoing criminal investigation. However, I think there has been evidence put out, videos and other statements for the public to see what the supposed state of the evidence actually is.
It's been interesting to watch Andrew Tate's Twitter feed in particular, that he's continued to tweet. Is he doing that himself? Has he got people?
I was wondering for that, like who's tweeting, who's using Andrew Tate's official account and official profiles on Twitter. So it is one of his managers
doing that for him. And how do you feel from a legal point of view? Is it a wise tactic to continue to do that on social media when you're being held in custody by the Romanian authorities?
Well, again, he doesn't have access, so he's not doing anything directly. And what's being put out is on his accounts. And I'm not going to speak as to, the source of the posts and what's being put out. But I think, again, as of now, he's not charged with anything, and he's free to comment publicly if he wishes to.
Yeah, they've obviously, we know that they seized nearly £3.5 million in cash, 11 luxury sports cars, guns, and other weapons. Are any of the things that have been seized from the property, are they in themselves acts of law breaking, just the possession of any of these things?
To my knowledge, they're not. I think if they were, they would have been charged with crimes. Again, they had the initial search in April, and it's February. It's been 10 months and no charges have been filed whatsoever. We have an ongoing criminal investigation for which this is a preventative detention, which is why they're in custody. Again, this is the most severe form of punishment. I don't think it's justified under these circumstances where the prosecution hasn't set forth enough evidence to charge them, and yet they are detained and it's being prolonged.
But you do accept, of course, that if the women who've come forward here...
Okay, so as you listened, it is preventative dedication, preventative custody, as they say. So they are putting him behind bars because they are afraid from something. Can you imagine like how clown worlds that we live in? They are putting him behind bars because they are afraid. So you don't have evidences, you don't have charges, you don't have judge says that he should be in jail for this amount of time. And you keep him behind bars for 30 days after 30 days after 30 days with no concrete evidence at all. That's as she says, the most severe, because the prosecutor have like variation of punishment, like during the investigation. He can, for example, prevent them from flying out of the country. He can put them under what they call a home arrest, which is will have a bracelet on like an GPS device on his ankle, and he can be monitored to not leave the country. So he have various options to take, and like multiple choices to take against Tate if he will fly or he will run away or something. But he chose the most severe punishment against him with no concrete evidences, with no evidences. So I hope they can explain that, especially if this case will go viral towards human rights. Well, like Human Rights Watch, I believe they do not like Tate, so they do not care. Okay, we have Ahmed here saying, I noticed something very interesting, coach. Whenever he picks someone to cancel to level 2, where is always a nearby election. Yes, yes, that's that's a good point, Ahmed. That's a good point, because there is a near election for the party whose this prosecutor is for this prosecutor in Romania. So he want to get a lot of political points for the public to show himself as the hero who can take like the big, strong, like man and wealthy man. Like it doesn't matter. We will put him in jail, even if he's a billionaire. So there's a political game here. This aspect should be took under consideration when you look at such case, and that's very important.
Here, as part of the investigation, if they're telling the truth, these are very serious allegations against your clients, which could lead to charging, and if they're led to charging, could lead potentially to long prison sentences if found guilty.
Certainly the crimes at issue are very serious crimes. And I think, Pierce, actually, it was on your show when you interviewed Tate several months ago. He made very strong statements about his position on rape, and he condemned rape, and he said it was disgusting, I'm pretty sure the word he used, and he said he thought that somebody who does that deserves the death penalty. So there's no question that these are serious charges, and even in his own words, they're very serious charges. There just isn't any evidence that they committed these crimes.
But you know, we've also had tapes which have emerged in the last few weeks of him talking about rape to a woman in a pretty unsavory manner. So what is your response to that?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. You said what surfaced?
There have been various tapes have surfaced in part of media investigations in the last few weeks, including Andrew Tate talking about rape to a woman in a pretty unsavory manner. So what would your reaction be to that?
First of all, I think the authenticity of anything that is presented through the media as opposed to turned over to the defense needs to be questioned, because material is edited and it's easily manipulated. So first, I would say that. Secondly, I don't think
that's the legal position for any let's say media propaganda and what's been published on social media, which like some of the idiots think that this is an evidence, what we talk about few episodes before, about the texting, about the things out of context, about the re-edited WhatsApp conversations. When it comes to court, this is all bullshit. What Vice used to do, oh, listen to Andrew Tate voice. Oh, check his messages. This is all will be garbage to the court. So to the legal system, you can't take something that Vice or anyone publish a screenshot or something, this is not considered under the law. This is not considered at all. So, because a lot of idiots, oh, check his messages, check his voice record. That's bullshit. That's easily manipulated and manufactured and took out of context to show half of the picture. So this is will never be considered an evidences against anyone, not just Tate. Okay. Ahmed says Romania has a long history of corruption. Yeah, of course. They even switched team mid World War II to side with Russia. Yeah. Ahmed says the next Romanian legislative elections must be held at the latest before 21 March 2025. Okay. Some sources says 2024. So hard to say what is clear for sure. There is a communist party that wants to win. Yeah. So it is a political game. It is not a real justice game. No, at all.
Certain text messages, I'm not here to judge or to talk to people's desires or fetishes, but certainly somebody could easily set someone up by saying they have certain fantasies, they want certain things done to them or said to them. And so there's a lot that goes into, you can't take a text message out of context. You first have to know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
First of all, the entire context of it and what the background is. There needs to be explanation. So I think you have to keep all of that in mind when you're seeing something in the media.
We do. And we have to keep in mind also the judge's reasoning for all this. They explained on the 20th of January that they viewed the particular dangerousness of the defendants and their capacity to identify victims with increased vulnerability in search of better life opportunities. So all of this has to be taken into account. But it goes on. And as you rightly say, at the moment, there have been no charges against your clients. And until or if that point arrives, we're in a world of allegation, not actual charges.
Correct. And right now, exactly, there's a presumption of innocence that every accused has, and that attaches from the time you're even charged. And here, we're not even there. They haven't even charged them with crimes. So any sort of comments as to their alleged dangerousness, there's no evidence of that. There isn't even a presumption of that. They need to be presumed innocent, and that hasn't happened in this case. There's really a lack of evidence, and they are being detained unlawfully at this point.
Tina Glandian, I appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Pierce.
Okay. Okay, Ahmed here says the problem is that the judges claimed the victims who were defending Tate as brainwashed. So judges really have closed this case before it has begun. Yeah, that's clown world that we live in. That is the clown world that we live in. You are a victim. You are a victim. I said, no, I'm not a victim. He never forced me to do anything. He never abused me. He never raped me. No, he's a good man. But you are brainwashed. You are a victim and you don't know it. I know you are a victim, but you don't know it. Do you see how this sounds? How stupid this sounds? This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is absolute garbage. Can you believe that there is a justice system that says that? You are a victim. We have two victims. Okay, where's the victims? We are not victims. No, you are a victim. No, I'm not. You are a victim. You don't know it. No, I'm not victim. You are a victim and you are brainwashed. So you are a victim, whatever you says. You are a victim and he's criminal, whatever he says. Whatever the evidence suggests. He will still be the criminal, and you are a victim, whatever you says. What level of bullshit that I have to believe such statement? There is two victims. They come out and say, no, we're not victims. It's another two victims. No, we are not victims. We are friends. Okay? So all of them are victims, but they don't know it. They are brainwashed. Okay? Okay. This is bullshit. This is 2 + 2 is 5. Yes, exactly. Exactly. 2 + 2 is 5. So, what do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. I certainly finished commenting on this update. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understood like what clown fucking world that we live in right now. That you can be in jail for 6 months with no crime just because they don't like you to get some political point on the next election. That's the world that we live in. That is the world that we live in. Hope you enjoyed the episode, guys. For to support the channel, as you know, you can join the membership from the basic to the diamond membership. Diamond membership will get you a 30 minutes counseling session every month. If you want to get one-on-one coaching or counseling, you can book it through the website. My website link is down, which is redpillarabic.com. You can follow me on Twitter. The link of my profile is down. You can follow me also on Odyssey and Rumble. I have a channel on Odyssey and another channel on Rumble. So if anything happened to this channel, because YouTube doesn't like me, you can find me on Rumble and Odyssey, and you will find a copy of all the contents on this channel there. So I suggest for everyone to follow my channel on Rumble and Odyssey. Follow me on Telegram, on Twitter. Well, I've studied 7 years in Romania. My professors threatened me if I don't pay, they'll kick me out of university. That's regular for poor countries. Coach, are you subscribed to Andrew Tate mail list? No, to be honest, no. To be honest, no. I like Ahmed, like don't judge through my action because I receive over than 250 emails every day. Over than 200 emails, like certainly, like absolutely over than 200 emails every day. Like I have channels, I have people following me on several media platforms. I'm managing the website. So I'm not, I do not want more emails in my inbox. It's not that it is not beneficial. It is, I believe it's amazing. But I'm trying to cancel everything that's in me emails because I spend near 2 hours every day reading emails. Like that's high consumption of my time. Got me? Okay, there's a headline I got today from them in email. Jail is part of climb. Okay, coach, I want to do the personality test, but I don't know how it will benefit me. Ahmed, if you're Arabic, I did an episode of awareness bill حبة وعي about the personality trait analysis تحليل السمات الشخصية. You can check that episode. I explained how the personality trait analysis will be done on the Big Five model and how it benefits you to understand yourself and to change your traits, to try to change your traits to get the maximum benefit of your capabilities and traits. So check that episode before you book the personality trait analysis from the website, and you will understand it. If anybody else want to book the personality trait analysis, you can check it from the services page on redpillarabic.com, guys. One-on-one counseling session, which is 30 minutes or 1 hour, personality trait analysis. And if anybody want to sponsor a video, you can do that through the website. All right, coach. Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair, Ahmed. Appreciate your support. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. It was not a long episode because, like, the video is very short. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Assalamu alaikum.